A word to the wise. So, you know that working on the emotional body is a very important piece of our self-development work that we can do because our thoughts and our emotions create. So if we're going around affirming that we're going to have the money we desire, we're going to have the relationship that's fulfilling, we're going to have the health that is, you know, the pinnacle, and yet there's this subconscious pattern or belief systems or a past trauma that has proved to you that you're not worthy of having the money that you need, or that money is bad, or having there's no good men out there, or that having the health that you desire is unreachable, then we're constantly beating our head against the wall in our even though we're saying the affirmations and focusing and visioning where we want to go, this background noise keeps us stuck in patterns where we're unable to really manifest what it is we're looking to manifest, because we keep remanifesting the thing that proves our beliefs to us, right? So we get stuck in a loop. And I was working with I work with my emotional body all the time, and I have other practitioners that help me with this thing because, when we're in the forest, it's really hard to see the trees. And so I personally benefit greatly from having coaches and healers and practitioners that I work with on a regular basis. And so I went to work with a practitioner whom I know. I've known her for a long time, and I really appreciate her as a person. But what we have to realize is that as human beings, which we all are, we have a level of consciousness, and that level of consciousness affects others. And so what we want to do is we want to ensure, if you're going to see a practitioner, you want to ensure that your practitioner has been doing their own inner work. You want to make sure that they're not stuck in their own dogma. There's all different kinds of belief systems out there, and they're all valuable, and whatever works for each person is great. But whenever we go to someone who's stuck in their way is the right way, and it's the only way, then we become, we have this unspoken energetic thread that goes through the relationship that causes the patient to feel like, well, just because I don't believe the way you believe, and I'm not doing the way you think I should be doing them or believe that they should be done, then that means I can't heal, right? And then when that's unspoken energy, a thread is there, then it limits our ability to rise up beyond the story that we're trying to break through, okay? So I've sat with this for a very long time because I know that if we're feeling victimized, if we're feeling violated physically or mentally or emotionally, if we're feeling judged, then it's us that's feeling the feeling, right? So we have our part to play in it, and I wanted to suss out any work that I need to do on myself that was reflection of that. And so this is the stuff that people don't really like to hear because we have to call bullshit on our own stuff, and it's not really fun. And the invitation is that to love yourself enough that you do it anyway. So I am grateful that I received some things to work on in this relationship and from the experience that I had with this practitioner. And I'm also really clear that I don't have to do it again. I don't have to put myself back in that position or that container to rehash out things that exist at that level of consciousness, because I've already done it. Now, I'm not saying there's not more to do, all right? So I was speaking to a patient the other day. She came in, she's like, oh yeah, I'm working with this other practitioner. And I was like, I gave her 2 thumbs up. I was like so happy that she was working with her because I know this practitioner personally. And my actual response was, oh yeah, she's clean. And the patient kind of laughed, but she knew what I meant by that because she understands the esoteric, energetic, quantum world that I work in. And she was like, oh, yeah, she's clean. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know this practitioner, she's not that she's not human, right? Because we all are, but she makes sure her channel is clean. She rises above her ego. She has a daily, I'm sure of this, she has a daily practice of cleaning her field and rising up and opening herself to the channel of information that needs to come through her for the wisdom of her patient's healing. And I trust that's what she's doing every day because I can feel it. Like I see energy and I feel energy, and I know when people are aligning what they say to what they do. And sometimes we can pull the shade over our eyes and we can say that we're doing that, but but maybe there's still some more work to do, but I can see her so fully, and I'm so grateful that my patient is working with. When you're looking for a practitioner to work with, you want to make sure you're working with someone who's doing their own inner work, who's keeping their channel clean, who's doing what it is necessary for the best of the patient. Now, there's a lot of practitioners out there that believe that's what they're doing. They're doing their daily prayers and they pray for each patient. I've seen this happen many, many times. And just remember, if they're stuck in a dogma, or they're stuck in a belief system, or they're stuck in a level of consciousness that they have to box themselves into because for their own safety, then it limits what the patient can receive. If you're in that same dogma, if you're in that same belief system, and that's your container, you're going to do great with those patients. So maybe that's the perfect person for you. But just know that there's different levels of consciousness and different ways of accessing information, that we can either have clarity and cleanliness in our access that is distorted by our belief systems, or we can distort that information by our belief systems and bring whatever comes forth. Now, I trust that every person who goes to a practitioner gets exactly what they need. So I do trust that. I got exactly what I needed from that woman, right? And I'm grateful for the experience. I really am, because those pieces that I felt where I was got to look at my judgy self and be in the feelings of being judged and victimized. Those are parts of myself that I really want to work on. And what I know now is that I don't have to keep doing that. All right. So if I go back to her, I will probably get back in that same box, and I'll get to revisit those things. And maybe there'll be a time for that. Maybe there'll be a time where I'm like, I think I'm being really judgy and dogmatic with my belief systems right now. Maybe I should go back to her, right? That might be the right time. And it could also limit my ability to rise up beyond that story and evolve as fast as possible, right? So remember, what we have to remember is that in the quantum reality, which is beyond all time and space, that all potentiality exists, okay? So our stuck self exists there, our self who's trying really hard and having to work hard to get there, and our well self lives there, right? And so we get to choose what reality we want to create. And do we want to create one where we can heal, like we can have it no matter what the circumstances are? Or do we want to create one where we continually get stuck in this loop, in this story that maybe somehow is feeding us, right? Usually if we have a story that we're not good enough, we can't make the money, we're a victim of life, somehow that story is likely serving you. I know, it's a hard one to take, right? So when you find yourself kind of stuck in a loop, just step back from it and go, how am I being served by this story that I keep recreating in my life? And do I really want to let it go? And if I do want to let it go, what can I do to take steps towards that? So maybe it is get a practitioner. Maybe it's sit down and journal it out. Maybe it's sit down in front of your altar and meditate and light a candle and focus on the flame for 2 days. I don't know, whatever it's going to take, right? But just trust that if there's something that you're ready to move through, and you call in whatever it takes for you to do that whatever it takes is going to show up. And when that shows up, it may not be what you expect. And then that shows up and it's like, oh crap, but I didn't want that. Right? So we have to really watch how our mind is in control of what we're creating in our life. So I pray every single day that I can rise up to be a better healer and be exactly what my patients need, so that they can rise up beyond their stories and their issues and the things that they come to see me for. And I trust that they're getting exactly what they need. And I've been told time and again that I just can't simply wave my magic wand and make it go away and reverse the disease process or whatever's going on there, because everything that we're experiencing in the physical body has purpose. And if we can actually bring our consciousness to really believing that our experience is a gift, and that it's given us an opportunity to learn and grow as spiritual beings on this planet, so that we can evolve ourselves by growing and expanding, then we get to be more of who we are in this body, on this planet, in this lifetime. So I can't just wave a magic wand and make it go. But what I know I can do is help them access exactly what they need for their most profound evolution, which allows them to see what's possible and reach for it in their own time, in their own way, rather than being stuck in their story because their practitioner has limited herself to a belief system or a dogma, or boxed herself in and jaded herself by believing that there's only one way. And that, in parentheses, if you're not doing it that way, you can't really get healed, right? You can't really heal. So, yeah. So all in all, to say, be mindful about the people that you surround yourself with, that you let into your energetic space, that you let into your consciousness, that you let into your home. Every single person affects everyone they touch, everyone they're around. And so if you're really looking for an evolution of your own well-being, begin to find people that you can surround yourself with who have that level of consciousness that allows them to create that level of well-being that you're looking to embody. So many blessings on your healing journey. I hope this was helpful, and may your healing journey be blessed.